Hey everyone, I'm back again with another video, and this one is titled, Will I be the a-hole if I sent my wife's explicit text messages to the guy she was cheating with to his wife? Please make sure you like the video and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. So let's get right into it. Well, I found out that my wife has been cheating on me. In her opinion, it is not cheating because she didn't have intercourse with him. She just has been sending explicit messages about what they want to do to each other and sending pictures. Cheating in my book. The way I finally found out was by going through her phone. She had been acting strangely and tried to hide things. Her story would change about things. I never thought I would become the crazy psycho husband that goes through their significant other's phone, but here we are. The reason I'm posting though is, should I send a copy of the text to this guy's wife? I feel like she deserves to know. As sick to my stomach as I feel right now, it's better than not knowing. My wife said that this is between us and I would be an a-hole if I ruined their marriage as well. I'm not here to know that my wife sucks. I figured that one out. But what I want to know, would I be an a-hole if I send a text? I'm pretty sure I'm going to do it. And the OP has an edit/update for us. I have said this in a few comments, but I figured I would put it here. I do not have pictures of anybody. The pics were sent over Snapchat, so thank goodness I didn't have to see them. I only have text messages back and forth between them talking about what they would do if they were in person and the likes. So if I sent anything, it would just be a message, and I would pick probably one of the less explicit and disgusting ones, just enough that it's clear what's going on. It has been a week since I found a text between them. I have since cooled off, and now I'm in more of a depressive funk rather than the angry rage from before. But I have decided that I am not going to get in touch with the other man's wife. Some of you said that I would be the a-hole if I did it for selfish reasons. Some of you said I would actually be the a-hole if I didn't do it because she deserves to know. My reasoning is that I just don't want to think about it anymore, and I'm doing my best to move on. If that makes me selfish and the a-hole, so be it. And the first few comments say, not the a-hole. Let the wife decide for herself if this does or does not count as cheating. And the reply to that says, yeah, and post her answer. The fact they keep it a secret admits it's wrong. And the next reply says, reminds me of when a similar thing happened with my parents. My dad has always been a nice guy, and sometimes women read a little too much into it. When a female coworker started talking to him about body issues and her insecurities, he would tell her she looked great and stuff like that. My mom saw the messages and asked him about it. He said he was helping out a friend who seemed to be going through some things. My mom ended up helping my dad see how what was happening between them was actually wrong, because while my dad's messages were more or less innocent, hers kept on becoming more and more about getting validation from him until he used more extreme words. Like, at first, he would tell her she looked nice, and she'd be fine with that answer. Then after a week, she'd insist that he must be lying until he called her pretty, and then eventually beautiful. Also, her photos got more and more provocative, lower cut clothing, and would head towards nudity had my mom not stepped in. All photos were sent from her at no ask from my dad. She'd send him photos asking if she looked nice in X outfit. Started off as clothes for work and moved to clothes for when she went out, all under the guise that she didn't think so because of blank. My dad messages her and basically told them the relationship was inappropriate and he didn't realize it until then, and that he was sorry. She said they didn't have to stop. My mom texted her and she ignored my mom until my mom called her husband, found him on Facebook, and told him what was going on. Then the girl finally contacted my mom and told her she had no right to mess with her marriage like that. And the next set of comments say, not the a-hole, also get a divorce. And the OP replied, that's what we need to discuss. We have a daughter, which complicates things, and also a stepson, which is hers. I have no rights to him if we get divorced, so that is a reason I might stick it out. And the reply to that says, don't let the kids be a reason to stay. Cheaters don't change if their environment is stable. And the OP replied, that's true, it's a SE situation. What I think is best is to cool off and wait a few days. If I still feel she should know, I'll send the pics. That way, I know I'm not doing it out of anger or spite. And a reply to that says, my father was a horrible guy, and on top of his compulsive lying and pee addiction, refusal to get a job, slovenly nature and abuse, he was a cheater. They don't change, and the worst thing was that my mother ever did was to stick it out for me. Don't do that, as it only causes the kids to be at ease. They know more than they let on. You may be able to put on an act for a while, but they will see something's wrong. Getting a divorce is no longer the damnation to normalcy we all previously thought. And the comment after that says, not the a-hole. You absolutely must tell the guy's wife immediately. Don't tell your wife you are doing so. It'll give him a chance to try to hit it off. By the way, you are not a crazy psycho husband for looking through her phone. You're married. You both should have every ability to look at each other's messages / electronics, etc. Privacy is for toileting. And yes, she's cheated in everyone's book. By the way, gently, are you sure they haven't been having intercourse? You know that because she said so? But she's a cheater and a liar. Maybe it's just pictures and dirty talk, but we're all adults, right? Adults have intercourse. If they haven't, it's probably just because you caught it early though. I would put a voice-activated recorder in her car and find out what she says when she doesn't think you're listening. I'd also ask the other betrayed spouse when you notify her to see what she can find out about the extent of their cheating. Final point, when your wife finds out you told the guy's wife the truth, she's going to get mad at you and say you're the bad guy for ruining someone else's marriage, blah blah blah. Just remember, those two idiots ruined that marriage, not you. You're doing the right thing letting the innocent spouse know the truth about her life so that she can take appropriate action. Good luck to you. And the OP replied, the pics were over Snapchat, so they were not saved. And the next comment after that says, when this happened to me, wife and best friend, I sent a screenshot of the messages to him and told him he should tell his wife before I do. Put a great deal of fear in him. Worked out well, as I didn't have to tell her, and she got to hear it from him. I wasn't the a-hole, but I felt like you did and wouldn't call you the a-hole if you did tell her. And the OP replied, I have thought about sending them to him and saying what you did. My only concern is that he would get hostile and cause more problems. I really don't want to get into a fight with this dude. As far as I'm concerned, he is nothing to me and not worth my time. But I feel he might want to start something if I messaged him, and then at that point, I might get angry enough to try and fight him if that's what he wants. And the main commenter replied, well, if he fights you, he can go to jail and have his divorce papers served to him there when you tell his wife. I get what you are saying and it makes sense. As it was my friend involved, I never had that worry. He was so terrified of the possibility of me telling her at the worst time. No point in bringing violence into the equation if you are that worried about him coming after you. But also consider if you flat out send them to the wife, he will still come after you. Thank you guys for watching. Please comment below and let me know if there's any other subreddits you guys would like me to make videos on, and also like the video and please subscribe.